بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم، والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الخلق أجمعين، سيدنا ونبينا وحبيبنا وشفيعنا محمد الصادق الأمين، وعلى آله وصحبه والتابعين، وعنا برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. أهلا بكم في درس جديد بمادة اللغة الإنجليزية في برنامجكم درس على الهواء. Let's start today inshallah talking about Unit 2, the skills of interviewing. I need you to open your books, your class book page 4 and 5, and inshallah we are going to work also in your workbook page 4 and 5 also. Today inshallah the aims of this lesson is to review the form of reported speech and to differentiate between the usage of direct and reported speech. So in here we are going to discuss or talk about reported speech and direct speech and what is the difference between them and how to form it in different tenses also. Good. First of all, I need you to open your course book page 4 in here. In here we have some questions, as you can see. I need you to discuss it or think, at least think about it. Why is interviewing an important skills for journalists? So journalists mainly or usually have those talented or nice skills in interviewing or in negotiating with others. So why do you think it is important? I remember I asked my student those questions and they said, yeah, it is really important because they are investigating and looking for information, and so they should have those kind of skills to be able to gain or to gather that information from others, and they have that good nice skills to make others even tell them with those information they are looking for. 2, do you think there are times where journalists should not interview people? Yes. Students, I remember they mentioned lots of times when the journalists shouldn't interview others. For example, they said when they are in bad mood. Sometimes they are angry. For example, they have lost a match. So you don't have to interview them when you see them in a bad mood. So, or when they are also in sad times. For example, they have lost someone there. So it's preferable to not interview them right there because maybe they are really sad. They cannot control their feelings there. And sometimes they said also there's a very important thing when they are in their private times or at home. So don't go to their home to interview them or ever. And also when they, for example, at work doing their job, don't bother them with those things. Good. Here are a question. It says that think of an interesting interview you have read or seen. Tell others, members of your group, about who it was with and where you read it or saw it, why you found it interesting. I think you have seen lots of interviews with many, celebrities or famous people, scholars, maybe football players or ever. I think you may remember one of them. Think of it. Who was that person? And where did you saw it, or where did you see it, and why you found it interesting. Think of it. I think you will find lots of answers in your mind. Now let's move to the question 2 in page also 4. In here we have a person called Ahmed. Ahmed is a tennis player. He had an interview with someone. Now let's have a look at the question. It says, imagine that you are Ahmed, a young tennis champion. A news reporter or a newspaper reporter is going to interview. He has reported some questions. He has prepared some questions. Read through these questions below. These are the questions that the reporter is going to ask Ahmed. This is Ahmed, of course. It says, the first question says, how old are you? When did you started playing tennis? Why do you like tennis? What competitions have you won? How often do you train? What is your ambition? And what advice do you have for young people who want to be tennis players? Those are some questions that he is going to answer. I'm not asking you to answer those questions. No, I need you to do something else. Imagine that you are Ahmed, and your friend is asking you about the interview that happened, for example, yesterday. And he said, at the beginning, he said he will ask you, what did the reporter ask you, Ahmed? Oh, so Ahmed now is thinking that what kind of questions that the reporter asked me, and he's trying to tell his friend. What would he say? He would say, look in here. First, he asked me how old I was. How old I was. Now Ahmed is reporting. What does that mean? It means that Ahmed is telling his friend about something happened in the past. That's called reporting. Reporting, when you are giving like a report to someone and telling him about things that happened, for example, yesterday or the day before or a long time ago. The second question said, then what did he ask you? Ahmed said, he asked me when I had started playing tennis. When I had started playing tennis. Now I need you to do what? I need you to use those two models in here and report those questions. Report those questions in this form, on this in a different sheet or in your exercise book, and write them in a reported speech. We told you that there are two examples in here. Look at the differences in here, things that have changed in here. Look at the order. Be careful at the order and the pronouns that have changed there. So let's go one by one and try to do the rest. It says in here, number 3, it says, why do you like tennis? Why do you like tennis? What do you think this question is going to be about or going to be? It says, he asked me why I like tennis. Why I like tennis. Good. 4 says, what competitions have you won? What competition have you won? What is the question going to be about or reporting when you are reporting it? It says, he asked me what competition I had won. Look in here. Have you won? Became I had won. We are going to discuss them later, inshallah. Just I need you to notice the difference in here between the question or the direct speech and the reported speech. Good. 5, how often do you train? He asked me how often I trained. Oh, do became train. We are going to talk about it. What is your ambition? It says in here, he asked me what my ambition was. Good. Change in the order and the tense also. The last one, what advice do you have for young people or people who want to be tennis player? It says he asked me what advice I had for young people who want to be tennis players. Maybe you have noticed the differences in here, in the pronouns, in the tense, in the order. Okay, now we are going to discuss them one by one and talk about them. Before going on, let's talk about the usage. Why do we use reported speech? As we said, reported speech means that you are telling someone about something happened in the past, or someone said something in the past, and then you go and said, oh, Fulan told me about, or Fulan told me about, or Fulan said that he liked doing something. He liked doing something. Good. Now, we use the direct speech to do what? 1 or A. 1 is important to convey the exact word that someone had said. 1 is important to convey the exact word. We need to say it because he said that word. I need to convey it and tell you the exact word. B. When we want to bring something to life or to create a scene of drama, when we need to add some action to the for example to the things that he said certain things. So to add like you feel that someone is talking. In fiction and oral narratives also we can use it as we told you in narrative lesson, that you can use it direct speech to show or to make the writing more lively. Now, reported speech is used for what? In reports and newspaper reports, and when reporting conversation, questions or statement. When you are telling about them, reporting them, again, reporting what? It says conversation, questions and statement. When you are reporting those questions. In here we have 5 statements, okay? Those are the 5 statements. First of all, I need you to differentiate or to see, is it direct speech or it is a reported speech. Let's start with one. It says, my teacher asked me why I was late. I replied that the traffic was bad. Is it a reported speech or a direct speech? Think of it. Look at the pronouns there. Look at the speech mark if it is there. And look at the tense also. Yes, it is what? It is a reported speech. They are reporting something happened maybe yesterday. 2. The director reported that the company had made large profit. Is it a reported speech or a direct speech? What do you think? Yes, it is a reported speech. Now let's have a look at 3. We will help the police as much as possible, said the boy. Is it a direct speech or reported speech? Look at the tense, look at the speech mark there, and at the pronouns there. Is it a reported speech or a direct speech? Yes, it is a direct speech because you can see the speech mark and the pronoun, and also the time will help there. We are going to talk more and more about them. Now, I just need you to get familiar with the things there and get a small idea about it so we can explain more and more. Look at 4. Stop talking, said the teacher. Of course, it is a direct speech. To be or not to be, that's the question. Hamlet. It is what? It is a direct speech. So, now as you can look in your book, they are the usage. What is the usage of reported speech? In here, my teacher asked me why I was late. I replied that the traffic was bad. What is the usage of it? Yes, it is when reporting conversation. It is a conversation in here or a question that have been said by the teacher. 2, the director reported that the company had made a large profit. Of course, he said the director, so in reports and in newspaper reports. 3, we will help the police as much as possible. As much as possible. What is that? What is that? What's the usage of direct speech? It is when it is important to convey the exact word or message. Good. Stop talking. Stop talking, said the teacher. What is that? It is when we want to bring something to life. When you need to write, for example, a story and you like to make it, more alive. Good. Last one. To be or not to be, that's the question. Of course, it is the fiction or oral narrative. Now let's move to activity number 4 in your course book, page 5. In here you have to read the statement. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 statements from A to F. And you also have what? Verbs in here. So you need to match each verb to the statement. Which one is the most suitable verb to be used in here? Have a look at those. Have a look in here. For example, we have in here, there is an example in here. My food is cold. Complain is the most suitable verb. So how can we change it? We said he complained that his food was cold. He complained that his food was cold. So we should do the same thing with the coming statement. What's the time, Ahmed? Which one of those verbs is the most suitable? Is it ask, tell, explain, insist, say, and suggest? Which one is the most suitable here, do you think? Yes, it is ask, because it is a question in here. Ask. It's not always the case, but it is a question in here. So ask is the most suitable. Good. What about B? You must arrive on time. What is that? Yes, it is insist. You must. So it is insist. I like your new dress. I like your new dress. What is that? It is say. Fulan said something. Good. Let's go to the cinema. Let's go to the cinema. Of course, it is suggestion. So we can use the verb suggest. Sit down, children. Sit down, children. What is that? It is to tell someone to do something. It is so the verb is tell. And the last one, I'm hungry because I had no breakfast. Because I had no breakfast. Which one? He explained. He explained. And there are some more verbs that you can use, like promise, agree, or apologize, or something, for example. Good. So now we have matched the verb with the statement. Can we use them like this? No. Why is that? Because this statement, when you are reporting it, it will become like it is in the past. Again, let's say, for example, I'm talking with someone, and he's saying something that he said, for example, he said that I finished my work. I finished my work. Okay. Then tomorrow, okay, I will meet someone. Then I will say that Fulan said, why? Because it was yesterday. Fulan said that he had finished his homework. Fulan said that he had finished his homework. So we need to change the verb into the past. To the past. Instead of saying say, we should say said. Because what? Because why? Because it happened in the past when we are reporting. Good. So this is the how to change it. Said, insisted, asked, sorry, said, insisted, said, suggested, told, and explained. So it says, notice that suggest, insist, explain, and say can be followed by that, but it is also possible to omit it. We'll see later. We'll see that in here, as you can see, sometimes you can use that with certain verbs, but with others we cannot use it. Like in ask and tell, it is not advised or advisable to use that with those things. What is that? We are going to talk about them. Have a look in here. Here are the answers of those statements. A. He asked Ahmed what the time was. He insisted that Mary arrived on time. He said that he liked my new dress. He suggested that we went to the cinema. He told the children to sit down. He explained that he was angry because he had had no breakfast. As you can see, ask and told use no that. But with the others you can use that in here. Now let's move and talk in deep about reported speech. As we said, that direct speech is the word what people said, while the reported speech is often used to describe what something said in the earlier point of time. They said it before. Good. Like in here, the main verb are used mainly said in here. Like look at this direct speech. I feel sick. This person is saying that I feel sick. Maybe the next day or after a while, she is telling her mother, for example, he said, Luke said that he felt sick. Luke said that he felt sick. Look in here. Feel become felt. And we used that. Sorry, said in the past, and we used that also. So that is usually added. We can add it, and sometimes you cannot, or you can omit it. And we change the tense. We have changed the tense to the tense in the past simple in the reported speech. It used to be like in the present simple in here and became the past simple. So one of the things that you have to bear in mind, there's something would change when you are reporting. First thing, we use reported verb like said, explained, ask, and you will change the time. You will change the verb in here, and something else will be changed also. Look at these examples. Your house is really beautiful. Then she's saying to someone, he said in the past, our house was really beautiful. Is became was. Your suit looks great. He said that my suit looked great. Look at the change in here. From the time to another time, from the present simple to the past simple. So how to form in general? How to form a reported speech? Like this. Luke said that he felt sick. You start with the subject, then you can use the word, okay, said, sorry, you should use the word reported verb, like said, asked, explained, and many other things. And don't forget to use them in the past, because it happened in the past. Then you can use the word that. You can use them, and you cannot use them also. Then the subject, you change the subject. It used to be I, then it became he. He said that he felt the past symbol. It used to be in the present symbol, and it changed to the past symbol. Then the rest of the sentence. Luke said that he felt sick. Okay? We are going to explain more and more to make you understand more and more. But what is the difference between tell and said? You have to be careful. There is very important, differences. I went to learn to drive. He said that he wanted to learn to drive. Okay, said. This is, and we change the tense, and we change the subject in here. But look in here. He told me. He told me. So after told, we should have an object. It says in here, tell must follow by an object. Tell must be followed by an object. So we have to have me or some, an object after tell. So say something, tell someone. To say something and to tell someone. There is someone should be told that thing. I told Ali. I didn't say I told, for example, going to, no. I told Ali. But I said, let's go. It's okay. I said, let's go. But I told Ali to go. I told Ali. So we should have what? We should have an object after told or tell. Good. There are some more examples in here for such thing. Like, she told me that she was at the party. She told me she was at the party. She told me that she had a very stressful job. She told us he arrived late to the meeting. They told us, okay, let's see in here, you are using that, but in here there is no that. So it is okay to use that sometimes and not to use it. They told us they bought a new house. I told her that I went abroad last year. We told them that we didn't want it or want it. This is how that you can see there. After told, we're supposed to have an object. Nice. Some mistakes that students make, they would say, for example, instead of saying, he said that he had a fast car, which is a correct, he would say, he said me. Also, don't use an object after said. You should use the object after told. He told me, not he said me. No, he told me, and you cannot say he told that. No, he told me that. So, look, be careful. Said is not followed by an object, but told must be followed by an object. Good. Tenses in reported speech. Now let's move or talk about the change in tenses. Why do or what kind of tenses that we change? Have a look in this one. In reported speech, the reported verb is usually goes back. Okay, as we said, the reported verb like ask, explain, and suggest or this goes back in time. Why? Because something happened in the past. Good. Time and place refers on pronouns and sometimes also be changed. Time, places, references, and pronouns also to be changed. Also, other things that could be changed in the sentence. Time, place, and pronouns also should be changed. Let's talk about time. Let's talk about time or the tense. In here it says, in the direct speech, this is the direct speech, I'm working in New York. I'm working in New York. This is what kind of tense? It is a present continuous. Let's change it to reported speech. We said when we are reporting it, we said, he said she was working in New York. She was working in New York. Look, am became was. We changed the time. We changed the time from the present continuous to the past continuous. So present continuous became what? Past continuous. What if it is a present perfect, like in here? I have been to China twice. It is a present perfect. What would happen? He said that he had been to China, which means he had been to China. So we changed it from the present perfect to the past perfect. from the present perfect to the past perfect. Good. Why is that? Because we said that we were saying it in a time. So when we're reporting it, we are referring back in time. We are referring back in time. So if it is present, it will become past. If it is present continuous, it will become past continuous. Present perfect will become past perfect. What if it is in future, like in here? I will call you soon, he said. I will call you soon. He said he would call me soon. So will became what? Would. A model, like, we use would instead of using will in here. Nice. There are some different tenses, like, we are using can to become what? Could. We can speak Japanese. This is a model like a can, and we change it to, they said that they could speak Japanese. Can, the past of can is could. Good. It says usually it says the tense used in reported speech is usually 1 tense back in time. It is 1 tense back in time. As we said, we go back in time. If it is in present, it will become in present simple, it will become past simple. If it is in present continuous, it will become in the past continuous, and so on. Good. Reported speech and the past simple. Reported speech and the past simple. If it is in the past simple, what should we do? And here is something that you have to bear in mind. The past simple in direct speech can either stay in the past simple or change to the past participle, the past perfect. Again, if it is in the past simple, you can move it back in time, put it in the past perfect, or you can just keep it in the past simple because it's also referring to the past. Okay, like in here, I arrived in Delhi on Saturday. When you change it to reported speech, you may say, he arrived, also the same thing, but we changed the pronoun. We are going to talk about it. He arrived in Delhi on Saturday, or you can use, he said he had arrived in Delhi on Saturday. So direct speech in the past simple, either you can use the past simple, the same one, or the past perfect. The past perfect. But be careful, you have to change the pronouns if it is needed there. Good. And sometimes you don't have to change the time also. Why? Look in here. If the situation describes describe is still going, the situation that you describe is described that is still going. It is still going there, like in the present symbol, in the present symbol. The verb does not have to change. Like in here, he said, I like eating cake. I like eating cake. He liked it today. He will like it tomorrow and the day after. And it is a fact that he liked it either today or after day or even yesterday. So when you are reporting it, you will stick to the same tense because it's still going on, because it is still a fact. He said that Amila said that she likes eating cakes. Why S? Because we changed I to she, but we remain the tense the same. So because she still likes the cake. She likes the cake. It is a fact. So sometimes in present symbol, when you are talking about a fact, you can keep things the same. In here, there is some more example. Look in here. This one is talking to the other one, and he said, your hat looks great. He's still wearing the hat. He moved, and he met someone else, and he's still wearing the hat. And he said, it's there. He said, my hat looks great. My hat looks great, because the situation is going on. The situation is going on. He said, my hat looks great. Okay? Because it still looks great. I love your tie. He said, then he is still wearing that tie, and he said to this one, he said that he loves my tie. He loves my tie because he still loves his tie. He's still wearing it. Maybe 10 minutes later. You get it? I think you get the idea. Now, time and place references. Previously in here, we said that we change the tense. Now, Sometimes there are some words that refer to time, like the word yesterday, the day before, whatever. Should we change them? Yes. Look in here. In speech, or in speech, if speech is reported sometime after it was said, word used to talk about time and places may be or may need to change. Like what? Like yesterday, last month, whatever. Look in here. It is 26th of April, and he said, talking about the day before or yesterday, he said, I went to work yesterday. I went to work yesterday. Then he or meet someone else the day after, and he said, she said she'd been to work the day before, instead of saying yesterday, because it's not yesterday, as you can see, because he's talking the day, day after. So it is not yesterday, it is the day before. So we change, instead of saying yesterday, we said the day before, the day before. This is one of the things that you have to bear in mind. If the word talk about, for example, yesterday, you need to change it. Okay, the same thing with the word tomorrow, like in here. I will call you tomorrow. When you are referring, okay, you would say, he said he would call me the following day. Tomorrow became the following day. Okay. Why is that? Because, for example, if he talked after, he said he was reporting that thing to someone after a week. Would he say that he will call me tomorrow? No, not tomorrow, because something that already finished. It was, the day before, or the day after he talked. Okay, and here says the weather is nice here. The weather is nice here. They changed they were in the beach, then they changed the place. Should he say here? No. He should say something else. He should say, she told me that the weather was nice there. There. So place should be changed all sometimes. We'll have a party this weekend. This weekend, the coming weekend, he means. Okay. They said they'd have a party. They'd have a party that weekend. Which weekend? This one. It was, for example, maybe 3 weeks ago. 3 weeks ago. That weekend. So this weekend became that weekend. And sometimes we get that week. Next week it became that week. Good. I saw you last week, like in here. Last week. She said she'd seen me the week before. The week before. I am starting a new job today. Today become what? You told her you were starting a new job that day. That day. Instead of today, it become that day. Nice. Something more about changing or a change in reported speech. What are the things that sometimes change when you are talking about, it says in here, in reported speech, pronoun may also be changed. Some pronouns, they may be also changed, like in here. I don't believe those ghost stories. I don't believe those ghost stories. When you are reporting, he said that he didn't believe, these became those. He didn't believe those ghost story. I don't believe these ghost story. It became, he said that he didn't believe those ghost story. From these to those. These, those. Good. This house gives me the creeps. This became what? He said that house gave him the creeps. Creeps means feeling that, he's afraid of something, frightened. Good. So this became that also. This house, it was in front of him. Then we are talking, he said, no, that house. More examples. I don't like my new haircut. Like in here, my new haircut. So when you are reporting it, are you talking about your haircut? No, you are talking about something else. He said that he didn't like his new haircut. His new haircut. Okay. I can't wait to move into our new house. It is our house. So when we are reporting, he said that he couldn't wait to move to their new house. From our to became their new house. Good. Are you going to come with us? When you are reporting the pronoun us, he asked if I was going to go with them. To go with them. These are the best pastries I ever tasted. He said that, or he said they were the best pastries she had ever tasted. From these to they. Good. Now, we talked about some reported verbs. What is reported verbs? Reported verbs, the verbs that you use to report, like said, ask, suggest. Here are some more verbs that you can use to report. But each one sometimes is different from the other one. Like sometimes they use the if, sometimes they need to have the object, as I told you about told, and other things. Let's talk about them. First of all, let's talk about reporting speech or reporting, verbs with that. With that. What does that mean? It means say and tell, do not give any information about speakers. Mana. They can be replaced with other verbs that suggest the speaker's mood or reasons for speaking. When I said, for example, he said, it is different from I said, he shouted. You are showing something. When I said shouted, I'm showing the feeling or the mood. He said, it doesn't give that much thing. But when I said he argued, he admitted, he explained, he added, you are adding more information to think. Even though you are reporting, but you are giving more, information about the way that things that was reported or he was saying that thing. Back in here, he said, I am not very good at golf. I'm not very good at golf. Or then Neil admitted that he wasn't very good at golf. Instead, he said that, I admitted. As if he was refusing to say that before, then now he admitted that thing. So, admitted, add more meaning. Admitted that. So, good. Something else or some more examples, like they explained that. Explained, as we just said, explained. Like, they were giving, explanation for something or reasoning. They explained that the dog was barking because he was excited to see me. Good. In the direct speech, your house is beautiful. It has a nice lawn too. Robin admired our house and added that it had a nice lawn. Added means that they were talking a lot or saying something before, then he added that it had a nice lawn. Good. So how to form such thing? Exactly. Just replace said. Instead of saying in here said, for example, no, admitted. Neil admitted that, and the past tense and the past tense of the thing. So we just replace said with the other reporting verbs. Nice. Reporting verbs with object and infinitive. We said that some reporting verbs like tell should have an object. Other whatever they call it, other reporting verbs should have an object and also followed by infinitive, like in here. Remember to buy some milk tonight. He said, remember to buy some milk tonight. Good. What Eli said, Eli reminded me to. Oh, reminded me to, not reminded me by, reminded me to do something. So there is an object and should be followed by an infinitive, reminded, like the verb reminded me to. Okay, don't say reminded by, no, reminded me to do something. Good. Some more. You've been very naughty, go to your room. She was telling her kid to go to the room because he was very naughty. Then she was talking to his father and she said, I just ordered Aaron to go, see in here, I ordered Aaron to go to his room. Okay? Could you please give me a ride to the station? She said. Then he was late. Look at the watch. He was late and he was explaining. He was explaining or she was explaining to her husband why was she late. She said, sorry, I am late. Lucy asked me to give her a ride to the station. Asked me to do something, to give her a ride. Good. And here in the party, she's calling, as you can see, the mobile phone here, she's calling and she, come to the party, you will have a great time. Okay? Then she said that I was talking, sorry. She was telling her friend that she called someone and she said, we encouraged Garth to come to the party, encouraged to come to the party, to encourage someone to do something. Good. How to form it? How to form it? As you can see in here, we start with the subject, Ellie, reminded, the reported or the reporting verb, the object, and the infinitive to do something. Then the past sentence. Then the past sentence. Good. Something else? Reported speech with the negative. Now how to if it is in negative form, I mean the direct speech, if it is in negative form, how to report it and keep it in the negative form also. Like in here, it says, I don't work on weekend. How to report it? How to report it? Should we change the time in the verb or what? Oh, be careful in here. As if you can remember, we said that if you, for example, making a question or making a negative, we move the time, for example, from the work, okay, from the work to make it, we'll move the ed or the time to the beginning and say and stick it to do, so it became did. So I said I didn't work, not I didn't work. I didn't work. Good. So now, where is the time? The time is in here. The time is still in did. So when we need what? So when we need to add, to make it negative, we keep it there. We keep it there. We change the time only where? Not in worked. We change the time in here because the time in here. Look in here. I don't work. I don't work. It used to be like this. I work on weekend. So to make it negative, we take the time in here, stick it to do, and not. It says I don't work. Okay, good. So there's the time. Time is in don't. Now we need to change the time. We said that if it is in reported speech, we need to put it in a time before. So don't became what? Didn't. So we don't change the time in here in work. No, if it is in negative. We just change the time in the auxiliary there, in the auxiliary. Okay? I think you get it. So in here I said, I don't work on weekend. He said he didn't work in weekend. Work stay the same because it is an infinitive. And this one is also an infinitive. Their time is in here, so we change the time from the present simple to the past simple negative. Good. The same thing in here. Like in here, look. I want to drive. I'd rather work. Don't became what? Didn't. Isn't became what? Of course. Wasn't. And haven't. Yes, hadn't. Good. Those auxiliaries hold the time. Those auxiliaries hold the time. So of course, when we're changing the time, we are going to change those auxiliaries, not the infinitive after them. Good. What if you are reporting other verbs, which, like example in here, shouldn't. You shouldn't. There is a different story in here. Okay, so we said that we change the reported speech like advise. He advised me not to. He advised me not to do something. He advised me not to, for example, sign the contract. He advised me not to sign the contract, like in here. We didn't say, he said that, whatever. You can say, yeah, he said, or he said that I shouldn't. It could be. But if you are using the reporting verb advise, you would say, he advised me not to do something. He didn't say he advised me shouldn't. No, not to do something. Other thing, persuaded, also persuaded even to do something. I think I persuaded even not to eat many cake. It says here, don't go in the water, it is dangerous. He's reporting the lifeguard warned me not to go. Warned me not to go to near the water. I don't think you should stand so near to the edge. It says in here, now look in here, he had a problem. He said, my friend warned me not to stand near the edge. Good. So with should, sometimes we should not, like in this one, not to do something. Here are some more examples, like, reminding me not to, and he told me not to also. Good. What about reporting questions? If you have a question, now a few seconds ago we talked about negative. Let's move to reporting a question. Reporting question is something you have to bear in mind. You have to be careful when you are reporting question. Something happened there. Reporting question are used to describe a question that someone had said. Okay, so in direct question or in reporting question, we use different word order. Be careful. When you are reporting a question, you are not asking a question. You are just reporting it. You are giving it a normal sentence. Fulan said that. You are not asking the one you are talking to. No, you are just telling him about the question that Fulan said. So you have to change it from a question form to a normal form. Sorry. Change it from a question form to a normal form. And we said that how to form a question is to move the time to the beginning or before the subject. To move the time to the, like in here. We move it in here. Okay? It used to be like this. It used to be my keys are. It used to be in here are. So to make a question, we moved it in here. This is a question. Okay, good. So what should we do to make it whatever they call it, to make it reported speech? Just go make it back to the normal place. Switch between them. It says, Adam asked me where his keys were. Look in here, we change the time and we change the place. We change the time and we change the place. Exactly like in here. Why can't you come to the party? He asked me why I couldn't. You, and this one, look, move it in here. We switch the places and the pronoun have been switched and the time has been switched also. But be careful. We switch the places to make it a normal. Instead of in here a question, in here is a normal sentence, not a question. The same thing is in here. When will they arrive? She asked me when they would arrive. It's not a question in here. This is how to form it in a question form. Adam, this is the subject, with the reporting verb, object, the WH question, the subject, then the verb. The subject, then the verb. Okay? So, what did we discuss? Good. There are something more. What did we talk about? We said that we change the time, the tense in reporting speech, and we use the said and differentiate between say and tell, and said that you should use them in the past unless you are using it in the present. Sometimes there are some exceptions, but just use them in the past. And we said that you have to change the pronouns, okay, and the time references also should be changed in the reporting in reporting any sentences. Good. Now I think you have done this activity at your classes. Maybe there is no time to do this activity for now, and thank you so much for being attention, and inshallah subhanahu wa ta'ala we are going to meet you inshallah the coming weeks. Till that time, please stay safe and enjoy your time. Thank you so much.